welcome to my kitchen. I'm Andrea, and today we're going to make quiche. Now, a lot of people may feel a little nervous about quiche. Actually, it's a wonderful dish, very quick and easy to put together. You don't need a lot of tools and not very many ingredients. This one's going to be a meatless quiche. But you can certainly add diced ham or some chopped up bacon to it if you would like. You can also add spinach. That's good as well. So what we're going to need is a pie shell, and I have pre-baked this pie shell already at 425 degrees for about 12 minutes. Before you put it in, you're going to want to use a fork and just dock the bottom of your pie shell so the air can escape and you won't have a bubble in your pie shell there. Then you're going to let it cool. You could definitely do this like the night before and just put it into a Ziploc bag so that it doesn't get any moisture, and then you'll be ready to go for in the morning. So we're going to set that aside, and we're going to need 3 whole eggs, and we're just going to crack these in here. And that's just 3 large eggs, so I use large eggs in everything. So when I say 3 eggs, or any kind of eggs, it's always large eggs. All right, so we're just going to give them a whisk. And then to this, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of whole milk. And then 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream. That's what makes it so delicious. So whisk that together. All right, and then we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use the pink salt, and then about 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. You could use more black pepper if you wanted to, or omit it altogether. But I just think it needs a little something in there. All right. And then we are going to need 4 ounces of Havarti cheese, grated, and then 3 ounces of Gruyere cheese that is grated. And these you can find in most of your grocery stores. I get it at my neighborhood market in their specialty cheese section. They usually always have it. So we're going to take about half of each and sprinkle in the bottom of our partially baked pastry. And the reason you want to pre-cook the shell is so that it won't be mushy when your quiche is done. So you pre-bake it, it kind of makes a firm bed for it. So you sprinkle that in and then just pour this over it. And then we're just going to sprinkle the rest on the top. So it's a very cheesy quiche. You could use Jack cheese. You could use Swiss cheese a little bit. I would stay away from like cheddars because they tend to be have a lot more oil and separate. So, all right. Now we're going to bake this in a preheated 375 degree oven for about 35 minutes or until your custard has set. Okay, so our quiche has baked for about 35 minutes, and then once I pulled it, I let it set for about 10 minutes to cool down. If you cut it immediately, it's going to be like molten lava in there. It's so hot. So just let it cool for about 10-15 minutes before you serve it. That way it kind of solidifies a little bit and you won't burn yourself. So this is what it looks like. And we're just going to cut a piece here. And you could always make your own crust, but I find that buying the pre-made ones just makes it a little faster, especially if you're making it for breakfast. You don't want to be in making pie dough first thing in the morning. So, all right, let's see if we can get this out. The first piece is always the hardest one. All right. There we go. And there we go. Lovely quiche. Great for any morning, Christmas morning, when you want a nice, delicious breakfast.